SST collection surpasses target last year. Audio recordings disclosure do not affect diplomatic ties. Hello and good afternoon. You're watching Updates at Noon with me, Amin Carlos. Well, the government have collected a total of 27.5 billion ringgit of sales and service tax, or SST, last year. The collection exceeded 22 billion ringgit target set earlier.
According to Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng, the higher tax collection reflects the sustainability of the country's economic growth. He said although the collection was lesser compared to the Good and Services Tax GST, but the refund amount to the traders in the GST taxation system should also be taken into account.
Masih ada jurang 17 bilion, tapi jangan lupa bahawa sebenarnya jurang ni ialah kira-kira mungkin 9 bilion lah. Kerana daripada jumlah ini, hampir separuh adalah refund yang sepatutnya dibayar balik. So mungkin kita lihat itu perbezaan bukanlah begitu besar, mungkin separuh daripada jumlah ini.
Speaking at the Royal Malaysian Customs Department's Meet the Customer Day in Putrajaya, the minister also added that although during the 2019 tabling of the budget, the government had predicted for 10 billion ringgit differences in tax collection from GST to SST, but the actual gap has been reduced to just 8 billion ringgit.
The government is retaining its decision to freeze increase in toll rates this year. Now, Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng said the decision was taken as an effort to alleviate cost of living, even though the government had to bear the cost of over 1 billion ringgit to compensate the concessionaires.
He also expressed regret that the people were not aware about the initiative to maintain the existing rates, as there was not much media coverage on it as compared to other issues.
Maupun kerajaan telah pun membekukan kenaikan kadar tol untuk tahun ini di semua lebuh raya. Rakyat perlu ingat bahawa apabila kadar tol dibekukan, maka kerajaan harus bayar ganti rugi. Ini adalah satu kos yang membebankan kerajaan. Tetapi oleh kerana kita mahu kawal kos sara hidup, nak bantu itu rakyat, ia dibekukan.
Lim said the initiative to maintain the existing rates would be continued by the PH government.
Foreign Affairs Minister Dato' Saifuddin Abdullah said the revelation of audio recordings of so-called conversation between allegedly former Prime Minister and the United Arab Emirates, or UAE's state leader, by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, will not affect the bilateral diplomatic relation between the countries. Well, he said Wisma Putra will take proactive measures by contacting relevant parties and the country's Foreign Affairs Ministry to explain on the matter.
Saya rasa tidak. Walau bagaimanapun kami di Kementerian Luar telah mengambil tindakan yang lazim apabila ada isu-isu berlaku. Kami adalah cara kami untuk menghubungi pihak yang berkaitan dan menjelaskan keadaan. Saya rasa tak akan timbul apa-apa masalah. Tapi kita itu antara kerja kami lah. Bila timbul perkara begini, kami akan menghubungi dan menyampaikan maklumat dan menerangkan apa-apa yang berlaku.
He was speaking at a press conference held after the signing of Memorandum of Understanding MOU between the Ministry and University Technology MARA UiTM in Putrajaya.
In another development, Wisma Putra is closely monitoring the development in West Asia following the rising tension between Iran and United States-led coalition. Well, Dato' Saifuddin said the ministry is ready for possible evacuation process involving Malaysians there.
He also advised Malaysians in Iran and Iraq to take safety precautions and to constantly be in contact with the embassy. There are currently 163 Malaysian citizens in Iraq, most of whom are Petronas staff, as well as several lecturers. While in Iran, 73 people have registered with Malawakil in Tehran. Meanwhile, Datuk Saifuddin said he would support any parties which are making effort to de-escalate the tension between US and Iran.
Kita juga memberi sokongan, walaupun saya tak boleh nak sebut secara terbuka, tapi kita juga memberi sokongan kepada pihak-pihak yang berusaha untuk de-escalate the situation. We are not the main player, but we are very much supportive terhadap usaha-usaha yang dilakukan oleh pelbagai pihak yang menenangkan keadaan.
The prosecutors are not pursuing charges over the sex videos allegedly involving a minister, as none of them could be positively identified. Attorney General Tan Sri Tommy Thomas, in a statement released today, said forensic video investigators from the US and Cybersecurity Malaysia could not conclusively establish the identities of those shown in the video.
Thomas said the US investigators also said low resolution and lack of video frames prevented them from using facial analysis to identify those shown. He said after taking into account the findings and upon reviewing evidence as presently gathered and submitted by the Royal Malaysia Police to the chambers, his deputy public prosecutors had unanimously recommended that no charges be filed. However, he said, consistent with the normal practice, investigations may be reopened if and when new evidence becomes available.
And in response to Tan Sri Tommy's statement, Economic Affairs Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali, who was allegedly implicated in the video, said the videos were nothing but a nefarious plot to destroy his political career. Now, in a statement, he called on all parties to put a stop to the politics of slander, character assassination and smear campaigns, and instead engage in constructive discourse on ideas and issues of the well-being of the people and nation building.
The PKR Deputy President also expressed his gratitude on being cleared of any involvement in the sex video and prayed no one would again be subjected to gutter politics. He also expressed his heartfelt gratitude to his family for their unstinting faith in him and unconditional and absolute support in standing by him all these months.
The Kuala Lumpur High Court postponed the trial of 3 men in a murder case involving an unemployed man who was allegedly beaten to death at the PPR Desa Rejang, Kuala Lumpur in 2018. Judge Colin Lawrence Sequeira fixed 31st January for the trial.
Based on the charge sheet, the 3 accused, namely B. Davendran, K. Nilamegan and P. Hurisudan, are charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code. They were charged to have beaten the victim Sakti Vadevelan, 53, to death at the location of the incident. Muhammad Razi Shah Abdul Razak prosecuted, while the 3 accused were represented by lawyer K. Selvaraja.
The Selangor Health Department has confirmed on Influenza A infection cases in the state on Wednesday involving 2 locations, namely Putrajaya and Klang. However, its director, Datuk Chari Ngadiman, said the situation was under control with no new cases so far.
In a statement, he said the first case was reported at Sekolah Kebangsaan Cyberjaya involving 20 students and a teacher, which all of whom had fever, cough and flu. The other case was in Klang, which involved 2 siblings with both having to receive treatment. He said further investigations found that the infections in both these localities were not related to each other, adding no schools had been closed due to Influenza A in the state.
A special task force will be set up to manage the impact of crisis and disasters on agriculture in the country. Well, Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry Minister Dato Sri Salahuddin Ayub said the move was to ensure that effective measures are taken to help the farmers and breeders affected by any disaster. Well, according to him, the ministry is focusing on early preparation by setting up effective early warning systems to avoid crises and disasters before it occurs. For that purpose, he said the ministry would also collaborate with the Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change Ministry. Now, the task force will be chaired by the ministry's Secretary General, Dato Zainal Azman Abu Seman. Well, earlier, Dato Sri Salahuddin handed over the Paddy Crop Disaster Fund to farmers in Kodiang. And coming up, BIPK abolished postponed pending further study. Well, the implementation of abolishment of the Critical Service Incentive Payment, or BIPK, involving 33 service schemes, initially scheduled to begin on January the 1st, have been postponed for further study. Well, Public Service Department JPA Director General Dato Muhammad Khairul Adib Abdul Rahman in a statement said the department will be conducting a study on the abolishment of BIPK with the relevant stakeholders.
Earlier, it was reported that the abolishment of BIPK was not because the schemes involved are not important. Instead, JPA said it no longer served the purpose or criteria of its establishment. BIPK was first implemented in 1992 to draw talents into critical fields within the public sector. It is noted that the Malaysian Medical Association MMA had earlier initiated a petition to object the abolishment of BIPK.
Well, the long-delayed monorail project in Putrajaya will be revived. Now expected to be completed in 2025, the project, abandoned for the past 16 years since 2004, will soon be extended to connect Kajang, Bangi and Cyberjaya.
Federal Territories Minister Khalid Abdul Samad said he had recently held discussion with the Transport Ministry to decide on the project's routes. Since the project will now be connecting places in Selangor, the ministries will also be cooperating with the Selangor State Government to finish this project.
Baru-baru ini kita pun telah mengadakan perbincangan dengan pihak MOT dan satu jajaran yang baru telah ditetapkan, yang mana bagi dalam kawasan Putrajaya itu sendiri ianya kekal kepada jajaran yang asal, tetapi yang baiknya ialah ianya akan melibatkan jajaran ke Kajang dan Bangi dan juga kepada Cyberjaya, ya, dan ini akan link up very nicely dengan baik.
Speaking to the media in Putrajaya, he said the long-haul monorail project will now be redeveloped with new routes integrated with the East Coast Rail Link ECRL project, Kuala Lumpur Singapore High Speed Rail HSR, and Mass Rapid Transit MRT system.
Any decisions regarding the appointment of Chief Executive Officer or CEO for Prasarana Malaysia Berhad do not come under the jurisdiction of the Transport Ministry. Now, Minister Anthony Loke said Prasarana is a company under the Minister of Finance Incorporated, or MOF Incorporated.
I think the questions about anything about the management in terms of the decision made by the board is better that the questions to be asked to the board, because the decision comes from the board. It's not from the ministry. As I said, I mean, in terms of appointment, it's not the jurisdiction of Ministry of Transport. Prasarana, it is a company under the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, and then any appointment will have to go through the board as well as MOF.
It was reported on Tuesday that Prasarana President and CEO Muhammad Hazlan Muhammad Hussein was suspended from his post by the firm's board of directors. Acting as the group CEO now is current Prasarana Chief Operating Officer Datuk Muhammad Shukri Muhammad Salih.
The use of traditional and complementary medicine, or TCM, is widespread and increasing among Malaysians. And acknowledging this fact, the Health Ministry decided to expand its usage in general hospitals. Now, Deputy Minister Dr. Lee Boon Chye said as of now, 15 hospitals around the country are offering TCM services to its patients.
Based on statistics, about 30% of the country's population are practicing TCM.
I think what we are trying to do is, first of all, we need to have enough TCM practitioners. So where we are working with the industry and also the universities for them to come up with training program. We help them to draft the syllabus.
He said this to reporters after officiating Sunway TCM Centre in Bandar Sunway.
Coming up, mixed doubles advance, but men's doubles fail in Malaysian Masters. Well, local shuttlers at the 2020 Malaysia Masters held at Arena Axiata Bukit Jalil continued to show a strong performance as mixed doubles pairs Chan Peng Soon, Goh Liu Ying and Goh Sun Huat and Chevron Jimmy Lai marched on the quarterfinals after defeating their respective opponents in the second round. But poor execution from the men's doubles pair of Aaron Chia, So Wu Yik, however, had let them down as they failed to sub markers Ferdinaldi Gideon and Kevin Sanjaya Sakamuljo, popularly known as the Minions, in the second round of the tournament.
Professional pair Peng Soon Liu Ying beat Choi Sol-yu Shin Seung-chan of South Korea 21-13, 21-13 to set up a quarter-final clash with Japan's Takuro Hoki Wakana Nagahara. The Japanese pair had earlier scored an upset win over Thailand's Dechapol Pavaranukro Sapsire Terat Tanachai 21-17, 23-21. Everything seemed to go wrong for men's national pair Aaron and Wu Yik, ranked 8th in the world, today when they conceded 15-21, 11-21 to Gideon and Sukamuljo in a match that was done and dusted in just 26 minutes. Wu Yik, who also expressed disappointment over their dismal performance, said the Indonesian pair were on top of the game. Sun Huat Shivon, seeded 8th, meanwhile are in for a tougher match in the quarterfinal against the current world's top pair, Zheng Siwei, Hua Yaqiong of China. The national pair had earlier beat Team Giquel, Delphine Delro 21-16, 21-14 of France, while the Chinese pair secured their quarter-final spot with an easy 21-10, 21-14 win over Hong Kong's Tang Chun Man, Se Ying Sweat.
And that concludes today's updates at noon. In our top story, SST collection surpasses target last year. News on 2 comes on at 7 this evening. And with that, I'm Amin Carlos. From all of us here, thanks for watching. Happy Friday ahead and a great weekend coming up.